Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, folks. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Marketing Your Practice podcast. In today's episode, I want to share a story with you about a guy who's lost the password to his $220 million fortune. I'm going to give you a movie recommendation, and then we'll lighten things up towards the end. You'll see why they need to be lightened up. And I'm going to share 6 Instagram reel ideas that you should be implementing into your practice this week, straight away. Okay, I'll give you examples and everything moving forwards. Let's start with a movie recommendation. Last night, my family and I sat down for movie night. Before you feel guilty here, we don't do movie night nearly often enough. It's hard to get all 4 of us in the same room at the same time. We watched a movie on Amazon Prime called The Mauritanian. I think that's how you pronounce it there. It's a story of Mahamadou Slahi and his wrongful imprisonment in Guantanamo for almost 15 years. The movie is absolutely captivating and thrilling from the very first moments. It's incredibly morally challenging. So it kind of asks the questions, what kind of treatment and interrogation techniques should we be able to do? Now, this is further complicated because it starts to bring in issues of national security and terrorism. So, are things like waterboarding and physical violence, are these okay to do when you have at risk the lives of tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people? Aside from the moral implications of this movie, when I got to the end of watching it, I had this profound and very, very deep sense of gratitude. It was a reminder for me of just how easy and just how blessed my life is. I've got lots that I want to do in this next 3 or 4 months. So Lauren, as I've told you beforehand, my beautiful wife, we're now 19 weeks pregnant. We're moving house. I've sold my practice. I've got some programs which I'll be releasing, with community influencers. So there's lots on. And I've had a bit of a tendency inside my mind to go into a little bit of a kind of drama triangle inside of this. And after watching this movie last night and hearing about Mahamadou's story there too, it really was a reminder for me about just how easy my life is. And I wanted to share this story with you because perspective is super powerful. It's not until we see how difficult somebody else's life is that we can see just how easy ours is. And it also, what I realized from this is something that I need to do. The fact that I have been given these opportunities and the fact that maybe you, as you're listening to this right now, have been given these opportunities, I'm going to be cheeky enough that, while I don't know you personally there too, if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably a chiropractor, a naturopath, some form of health practitioner there too. That's a really good foot to have begun life. And even though there might be really difficult things happening for you now there too, the opportunity that most of us have right now is absolutely extraordinary. If you're looking for a bit of a reset, some perspective on your life, then I really encourage you to watch The Mauritanian. It's a powerful, powerful movie, not one for the little kids. But if you've got older kids, probably something really powerful for them to watch as well. And maybe you want to have some interesting family discussions in around what's morally okay with regards to treatment of people. Powerful movie. Let's step things up to the side. I'll lighten things up just a little there too. A couple of weeks ago, I heard about a guy called Stephen Thomas. I don't know if you've heard, does that name ring a bell to you? He's a German-born programmer, and he has lost his Bitcoin password to $220 million. As I was listening to his story, I literally felt nauseous. Like I felt like throwing up. I could put myself in his shoes. Like imagine it for a moment, that there for you was $220 million, but you couldn't access it. He's got 2 goes left, 2 more password tries for him to access the drive. And then after that, he's got no more opportunities. Like it'll be gone. It may as well have been kind of lit on fire. $220 million is generational wealth. It not only changes the wealth of you, but it would for your children and your children's children also. Now, whether that's a good or bad thing, that's a discussion for another time also. He now has the drive is kind of vacuum sealed and in a safe somewhere, and he's hoping that one day someone comes along some way that they can kind of hack into this and get the password back. After my nausea calmed down from listening to this story, it made me think about that there are some things in life that if we have the password to them, if we have the key code to them, they have almost a disproportional return. And I think that marketing is one of those things. Like if you have the password, if you have the key code to know actually how to market with integrity, with a way that really brings value, with what I often refer to as heart-centered marketing, if you can predictably bring in high quality new business into your practice, like what does that mean for you? Probably for many of you, and this is not to over exaggerate, that is millions of dollars over the life of your practice. It might mean for some of you that you would open multiple practices, that you would have multiple practitioners, much like what Lauren and I have been able to do with 2 practices. I just sold one of them. But we've had multiple practitioners work for us from, at the moment, we've got 3 or 4 chiropractors working for us, naturopaths, we have massage therapists, and we're able to do this because we're really great at building relationships with our community, of positioning our practices as thought leaders, as we build massive amounts of trust. And that's all because of the skill sets that I've learned with marketing. It's what we talk about here on the Marketing Your Practice podcast, as well as understanding those things. There has been, when we think about, and I think it was last week or a couple of weeks ago, we talked about this concept of strategy versus tactics. For a long time, the strategy of marketing was really to interrupt people. That's what the old television commercials used to do. But there's been a bit of a transition from that strategy from interruption marketing to value marketing. And I've been thinking about it a lot over the last 2 weeks or so, because I think there's even a step beyond value marketing. So, GoPro, they do a great job. Red Bull do a great job of value marketing. Like you're watching their content, and it's entertaining, it's inspiring, it's educational, all those kind of things there. I think where we can fit in is certainly maybe even a step above that. And I think of it as solution-driven marketing. When you solve a problem for somebody, you become immensely valuable. You build enormous amounts of trust. And trust is one of those things that is at an all-time low, not just online, but everywhere, and particularly with us as health practitioners, and particularly with us as natural, alternate, complementary, whatever word you want to kind of put in there. You know, the trust levels for chiropractic across the board are abysmal. Like it makes me sad really to think about it also. But when the marketing that you do is actually solving problems, it's actually a solution for people, then you build massive amounts of trust. And so really that's the strategy that I talk about a lot on this podcast. Now, while that strategy I think will stay the same for a long time, what will change is the tactic. In the early days, just having a website and to solve people's problems through the website was really valuable. Email used to be super, super valuable. Still is, still an important part of it there too. Then Facebook came along, and then Instagram came along, and then we started to make videos. So at the moment, the tactic that is best for you to solve people's problems is video. And the best video tactic at the moment, one of those that's getting incredible amounts of reach and engagement is on Instagram, is Instagram Reels. Now, Instagram Reels were first released on the Instagram platform in late 2020. It would appear that they kind of were released to really compete with TikTok. They're very similar, this 15 to 30 second video. Now, when I first saw them, I didn't really see any practical application for us as business owners, as health practitioners, because what they seem to be is, I saw 2 very distinct types of videos. People dancing and miming to music, and I went, that's not really me. I think one of the things that's important in your marketing is that there's authenticity. So if you're the type of person that does sing and dance and do all of those kind of things, then you would have gone, fantastic. Reels is absolutely what I want to be doing, and maybe TikTok also. And then the other type of videos that I saw on there were these almost kind of viral, people doing kind of wacky things. They were entertaining sort of videos. There was a guy who I would often watch who, one of the things that he would do is line up chocolate biscuits and kind of play dominoes with chocolate biscuits. They were kind of fun videos to watch. And so I went, hang on, neither of those things really match the sort of brand of the message that I want to be sharing with my practice. Until I kind of realized that really what Instagram is wanting with these videos, these short 30-second videos, is just fun and entertaining. Now, they didn't have to be song and dance. They didn't have to be any of those kind of things there too. But I could still share a short video, 30 seconds, and maybe pop a little bit of music behind it, maybe up my energy a little bit more than what I would beforehand, make sure that there's lots of kind of text and images happening on the screen. And I started to test these videos. Now, what would normally be a video that I would get 150 to 200 views off, which I was super happy about, all of a sudden on some of these videos, I was seeing 2,000 and 3,000. I think my best got 5,000 views. And this started to kind of really pique my interest. I realized in order for me to be making Instagram Reels, I didn't need to be singing and dancing, miming. I didn't need to be kind of doing any of these kind of viral kind of sort of videos. What I could do is the same things that I've always done, which is make helpful videos that help to get my audience one step closer to the health outcome they were looking for. In essence, I was making those solution-based videos. Now, what I want to do now is I want to share 6 Instagram reel ideas. But if you're watching this right now and you're thinking, look, Angus, I'm not on Instagram, I tend to work through Facebook or maybe even LinkedIn, then I want you to understand that short engaging videos work regardless of where you are. In fact, at the time of me doing this now, YouTube is just starting to release YouTube Shorts. They're understanding that our attention span is decreasing and we're wanting these real bite-sized pieces of information. It seemed like it was not that long ago I was talking to you guys about the 1-minute video, and now I'm talking to you about the 30-second video. And I bet that at some stage I'll be talking to you about the 15-second video. So how can we compress our information, solve problems in that short period of time there as well? So Instagram Reels, if you're wanting more people in your community to know, like, and trust you, then we just need more people with their eyes on your content. And at the moment, at the time of me recording this right now, which is April 2021, Instagram Reels are getting incredible amounts of reach and engagement. So what tends to happen is with any of the platforms release a new technology, it used to be kind of Instagram TV, when it was Instagram Live, all those kind of things, stories, they really press them out there too because they want us using them. So what I want to do with you is I'm going to share 6 different examples. Now, if you want to actually see these examples, because I've shot videos of each of these, head on over to my Instagram page, scroll through the feed there, and you'll see I've done a carousel of 6 different Instagram Reel examples that you should absolutely copy, model them. For all I care, you can copy them word for word. I'm totally okay with that. If the message that I'm sharing inside of these videos is the same message that you'd share with your community, then copy them word for word. Now, the first one, we've talked about this simply, is just share a health tip. Okay, so whenever we share a health tip, it does 2 things there too. It demonstrates knowledge. Okay, so that builds expertise there too. And then when we share a health tip that solves a problem, it builds massive amounts of trust. So it might be just, 3 tips for a better night's sleep. Now, given that we've got to get all this under 30 seconds, then you're probably not going to be sharing 4, 5, 6 tips. 3 is about as many as I can fit in the 30-second video. So health tips should be the real foundation of what you're sharing, whether it be on an Instagram Reel, whether it be in the feed, Instagram TV, on Facebook, or any kind of platform. So it works perfectly for this. The second thing that the Instagram Reels work really, really well for is showcasing a product or a supplement. So most of you, whether it be selling pillows or foam rollers or different vitamins, those kind of things, there's things that we sell inside of our practice. So shoot a little video letting people know who this is for and what it helps. Hey gang, on today's video, for instance, I want to talk to you about magnesium. Magnesium's great for 1, 2, and 3. If you're suffering from A, B, and C, then give it a go. That's a great little video to do that. Again, the benefit of creating this type of video there as well is it's a great way, again, to show your expertise and builds authority. So these are all you being helpful. These are all solution-based videos there as well. One of the sort of videos that I've been making more of recently is highlighting local businesses. These are businesses that I want to have joint ventures with, that I want to build relationships with. Now, they don't necessarily have to be other health-related businesses. It might be the local coffee shop. So the local coffee shop just 2 doors up from me, Vin at Chapel Bakery Cafe, is a great ally for our practice. Often after people have had the adjustments, the instructions that I give them is go for a walk, grab some water there too. And they end up walking past Vin's cafe, and very often they stop in and grab a coffee. Now, Vin loves that because I'm sending lots of people into him for coffee. But you can bet if anybody's ever in his cafe and they look like they're suffering from any form of kind of musculoskeletal pain, Vin shares a bunch of our business cards and refers a whole bunch of people to our practice because we've built a great relationship. So you could create a little Instagram reel that says, hey, if you're looking for a great coffee and you're in the Port Melbourne area, then go no further than 369 Bay Street, Chapel Cafe Bakery is what it's called. Vin is there. Tell Vin that Angus sent you and you'll love the coffee. Now, this is, everybody's looking for a coffee recommendation. We love to find a new cafe, and this helps to build and further, really establish the relationship between Vin and I. So if you're looking for wanting to build a relationship with a local yoga studio, a gym, a health food store, and you can make a little video about this, it has to be truthful. If you've never met the person beforehand and you don't know anybody that's been to the yoga studio and you're shooting a video that says, hey, head on down to yoga. They're fantastic. They're amazing. They've got the best in classes. If you actually haven't, that would be totally not cool to do if you had no experience. But if you've had a patient that's been there, and then you could shoot that video that just said, hey, listen, many of you are looking for great yoga studios. I had a patient in this morning. She was absolutely raving about Yoke Yoga. That's hard to say. There is a place in South Melbourne called Yoke Yoga, and I do refer lots of people there, but it's really hard to say. If you're looking for a yoga studio, then check them out. This helps to start to build relationships. So highlight a local business. Tip number 4, fun facts. Sometimes we forget that it's social media. It's meant to be fun. And while this type of video isn't necessarily solution-based, not necessarily me solving a problem, but I'm sharing fun facts, but I keep them in around health. I did a lot of content recently on sleeping. The fun fact reel that I did is, did you know that giraffes only sleep for 2 hours a day? That when people dream, that 40% of people dream in black and white, and that cats sleep 18 hours a day. It was something like that too. But they're just kind of cute little fun facts. We love fun facts. That video got a lot of views as well. So see if you can find fun facts that are vaguely kind of health related so that you're kind of keeping on point with that as well. Reel number 5 is behind the scenes. These are really great because it lets your audience get to know you a little bit more. It builds connection. We like to do business with people that we like. And we like it when we can get to see behind the scenes there too. There's a level of voyeurism that comes along with that. That's why we love reality TV. So I shot a little video recently, one of the reels that I did, which was, a day in my life. I took a photograph every hour or so. I pinned all those videos together, and I let people know what my day kind of looks like. People are interested in that kind of stuff there too. Sometimes when I'm making these videos, I get a bit self-conscious. I'm like, why would anyone be interested in this? But again, hundreds of views, okay? And it lets people know who I am and build relationships, because sometimes it feels like it's a little bit kind of one way. Lots of people, you guys are telling me lots of your fabulous things that are going on, and I need to kind of lift up the curtain and show you a little bit behind the scenes of me. And then the final one I want to talk with you about today is show your work. This is simple for me as a chiropractor. We just kind of did an adjustment video. Particularly if you're any form of body worker, then sharing your work at the moment gets incredible engagement or reviews. Like, people love watching adjustment videos. Any kind of body work that you do would be great. But if you're a naturopath and you wanted to kind of show people maybe some of the blood work that you do, some of the tests that you do, let them in, give them a sneak peek of what you do and how you help. So these are really great ways, to build those relationships. So let me summarize those 6 Instagram reel ideas. Share a health tip, number 1. Showcase a product and or a supplement. Highlight a local business was number 3. Number 4 was share a fun fact. Number 5 was to give them a behind the scenes. And number 6 would be showing your work. These are 30-second videos. Try and up your energy when you're doing them. Maybe put a bit of background music in behind them. Have a little bit more text and movement on the screen. And if you're looking for examples of these, then head on over to my Instagram, Dr. Angus Pyke, so DrAnguspyke. You know that. I'll have a link inside the show notes. I think there is one over to my Instagram, and you'll see these actual videos that I've shot, and you can model and show those. I think that's it for today. Okay, so remember, first of all, if you're looking for a movie recommendation, The Mauritanian, powerful movie to kind of look at there too. And then also, with regards to when you learn how to use this stuff, when you can do it. I had a coaching session this morning with my community influencer members, and one of them was telling me about, the flood of new patients that he's had come in recently. Craig makes these brilliant videos that really position him as an authority, and people are coming into him and saying, look, you're doing something different. I love what you're doing. And all of this is because of the videos that Craig has been making. So start making some Instagram reels. You will love the results that you get from them. They're super easy. You don't have to sing. You don't have to dance. You don't have to make crazy videos. Just make solution-based videos. Hey gang, that's it for me today. Thanks for all that you do. Keep saving lives. I look forward to seeing you back here real soon. Bye. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you have to come and check out the Community Influencer Program. It's my monthly coaching program where we take all this material and I'll work one-on-one with you to apply, implement, systematize, and help guide you and your practice to the next level. Now you can join me on over at adiomedia.com/join. That's adiomedia.com/join. I'd love to see you in there.